I want to work on different methods of getting to what you know already. Because as my dad always says, like, you don't even know what you don't know. And if you've been training for 5 years, 10 years, 2 years, chances are pretty high that if you don't learn anything else and you just work on what you learned in that consolidated time, you can become very, very effective. Would you guys agree? Okay, so you might not, I'm not saying quit class, I'm saying work hard with what you already have and make sure you're working different methods of getting to what you already have so you can use it. It's just like carrying a weapon. What's the point of carrying it if you can't get to it? Okay, so that, you feel good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this thing about closing the distance is a big part of the divide between the conventional MMA culture and the more traditional school ukitori culture, I say. So this closing the distance thing is a problem, right? So without getting past the elbow, jiu-jitsu really lives like behind the elbow. Because I don't, as Professor World says, everything from the elbow beyond impacts the spine. I just want to make sure that we have different methods for that. So what I want to start with, before he punches my head off, right? I just want to start with establishing, I think the brother was holding the pad earlier, and he said, did you see me block that? I didn't even have to move. And it wasn't magic kung fu, it was the fact that he wanted that target. By default, if you put something between the target and the weapon, then you have an effective block. Okay, so if we can establish that, then we can establish that where that punch came from is where it's going to go back to. Okay, so let's try it. Hey, it came back to the shoulder. Hey, it came back to the shoulder. Hey, it came back to the shoulder. We getting the drift. Okay, so what I want to work on first is keeping one, what we'll call this the tracking hand on the arm. Okay, so whatever block you choose is fine. I don't care if you ollie shuffle around him or whatever, but just don't put yourself in a position if you're interested in shutting this factory down as soon as possible, right? Remember that the dude behind the gas station doesn't want to, this is a cartoon. Hey, what's up? Give me your money, see what you got. That's a cartoon. I think somebody said the other day, I don't have to have a good sidekick if he doesn't know I have it. I can have a mediocre sidekick if he doesn't know I have it. Is the psychology making sense? Okay, so we're here. Closing the distance and I have my tracking here. If I stay out here, I'm inviting more party favors. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to track the Shinkaku, his blind spot. Right? That spot where somebody whispers to their wife when they don't want nobody else to hear what they're saying. It's time to go, baby. You know what I mean? It's time to go, baby. Right? Are you guys still with me? All right. Tracking hand, step in. Tracking hand, step in. If you don't have a block, Brother Kareem, if you don't have a block, raise this up in line with your nose and turn it out. Okay? And if he really wants you, and make sure you level set with your uki first, that he's coming down the line, even if you do it slow. There's no point in pretending. Okay, so bring this up and turn it, tracking hand back. Let's just start with that. All right, remember, if you don't move, we're gonna be here. Let's go. Okay. Each one. At you, I just want to see the stepping and the tracking, okay? You two brothers? Very nice, dude. Okay, Okay, so we have a parry system now, we have a blocker system, right? We're getting somewhere, right? We're tracking here. So now what we need is, I hope this phrase catches momentum one day and people start saying it, is commitment abandonment, right? He has all of this, he has all of that because he hasn't been hit yet. There's no, you don't see the cherry pie and the spaghetti sauce, you need that. That's like that's a prime ingredient to the jiu-jitsu, Everybody's like, that's not gonna work, that's not gonna work. I was in the room when Dr. Powell said, that's a nice technique, but break his nose first. That's golden. Us? Okay, so we're in here. Boom. Don't send it, but understand that it's there. Us? Okay, I'm gonna turn this into a pig snout. Us? Bam! Us? Okay, send them back gently. Well, I guess that's not gentle, but you understand? Gently, right? So now what I'm getting is this little bit posture abandonment. So we're here. Boom. So this causes this to loosen up a little bit. If you don't believe me, hit your face with a hammer and see if your arm stays tense. You see it, right? But it's plain, simple science, right? So, I'm sorry. Don't try to hold kids. Bam! Come in, shoulder, press. Just a little bit. You buy time until you get the sale you want. So, buy time. Buy time. Buy time. Buy time. Buy time. Okay. The thing is, when I yell out, when is it his turn? You guys say, never. Ready? When is it his turn? Never. Okay, that's the idea. So we're here. Boom. Now I'm in the shoulder. So now that it's sent back, depending on where your body is, I want you to work one of two options. Okay? If you're already past this side of the shoulder, there's no reason to go into a sweep or a throw or a modified technique that requires you to be in. Remember, embrace, don't chase. I don't have to do a particular sweep. I just want to go home. There's no cameras. Okay, so if you're here, work something that you have from here. Comfortable, protect your partner. If you're here, work something that you have from here. Comfortable, protect your partner. Are we good? Okay. Contact, track, buy time, angle. Contact, track, buy time, angle. This goes all the way across the board. Buy time, angle. Same thing we did earlier today. Okay, so it's not magic. It's just a matter of puzzle pieces, right? Buy time, angle. That's what Professor did. That's what Rashid did. So it's all in there, okay? One last time. Figure out where you are. Work something that you have from there. Okay. 2 minutes on that. Each one. Let's work. Okay. You have a new challenge. Right here.
I ain't no doubt right.
Get someone happy. Okay, someone happy. Way down here. Edward, please. What do you got? Oh, you need me out there too? Yeah, you do this. Now you make it like that. Very nice. Okay. So again, like you have your dictionary with all these words, but when you want to make a sentence, you only pick the words that express that thought. Okay, so don't think that you have to do something or break, right? When you first start doing touch and go, that's natural to freeze up. Right, man, what? I did that already. Cut. You think anybody cares that you did the same technique twice? What are we doing here? Us? Okay, can I get that? Yeah. All right, so we practice moving, right? We practice staying connected. This is so imperative that we stay connected. It gives us even just an inkling of an idea of the next motion. It might be here, it might be here, it might be here. Whatever it is, even with my eyes closed, I have some type of idea to move these, right? Okay, so the professor said jiu-jitsu should be like fighting a t-shirt on a windy day. But he might also be a t-shirt on a windy day. So just keep your mind open to that, and that's why the tracking is so important. Okay? All right, now let's get specific. So we come in here. We're in here. We close the distance. Big sound. Okay. So we practice sending them down. Practice sending the hip back. You okay? Good. Okay. So one of the things that we do is we line up and we touch what we call these hinges, right? these different spots that cause the body to pivot. Yeah? Okay? Here, right? So as you start to move through your technique, right? And you're tracking what's pivoting, what's moving, right? What's pivoting, what's pivoting, what's moving? What do I have now that moved? What do I have now? What do I have? Step, I touch, you step, how do you want to step? No, step, how do you want to step? I touch, you step, you're beautiful, yeah. I touch, you step, what do I have? Maybe I need some, because I didn't do enough. Okay. He steps, track, beautiful. I have something. What it is that you have is depending on your training. Maybe you just, somebody take a picture, mama, I got this far. Maybe that's where it ends. Or maybe you understand that this fulcrum that you have against the side of his neck, when you flare out, you get this blade here. When you get this blade here, if you push against that blade in the head, you can get a choke out with your own head. This is the science of the connection. And it's just one thing, protect. One he goes to protect, he exposes. He goes to cover, he exposes. Right? He doesn't want to get hit in the head, he exposes. And we can go back and forth all day long with the spots that get exposed. Does that make sense? So we'll go one last piece, and then I think we're going to start to close out. So we tracked, we made some space, we found ourselves somewhere. You're on the inside, here's your challenge. Initiate momentum, then use your throw. Okay? So I'm going to take the inside and quad. By the way, earlier, when the brother did this throw here, we also know this throw with pinching skin, right? And if you don't know, that these nerves that run, how much can you go through? You see it? Yeah. This thing right here, I'm not going to address it. You know my pronouns, but it carries down here inside the knees. Okay, so. He's going to follow it. Right? Okay, here, boom. I've been here, initiate the momentum, potentially with the break, and then take something. Push. Nice. Okay. But remember, break his nose first, yeah? This is not a turnover to look cool. This is a break at the elbow or shoulder dislocation. You bring pressure towards you as you send pressure away. Get a result. Get a result. Now your whole body, and then your pressure out. So you get a limb, use it as a captive. Use that limb as a captive. Okay, so the technique, one will be on the inside. Look back. Send it back inside. I'm just going to knee. I'm bringing it up to exaggerate it, but this is really subtle. Really subtle. Pick one. What's that called? Ochi-gari.
Ochi-gari.
Push. That's on the groin. That step is on the groin. Okay, so that's your inside maneuver. One thing about Ochi-gari, as he falls, always accentuate one knee forward, because you don't want this situation. You don't want that. Alright? Ochi-gari, pluck, one knee, pluck, other knee. It'll look like you're river dancing, just don't let nobody see you practice it. Knee, pluck. Even said, this his foot's gonna come up. What man? I mean, tough guy. You knee him here and the foot doesn't come up. Come on, that's a tough guy. That's a tough guy. Okay. Maybe. Oh no! Kareem foot doesn't come up. Okay, that's your inside option. Your outside option is here, boom. And outside only means that you find yourself here. I'm not sure what you had, but you found yourself here. So what we'll do here is just use that same knee to get that bend. As I get that bend, I'll keep the head forward. Boss?
Yes, sir.
So, is your neck okay? So I'm using this. Relax. It's gonna hurt a little bit. I'm using that on the back of his neck as he's falling. I can't do it in for real life. Okay? Option 1, knee pluck, knee forward, clear. Don't forget, break his nose first. Knee, send it. Emulate the crash, do it softly. Do it softly. Okay? This collapsing and this flailing, this is natural human defense. But I have 2 knees and I have leverage. Okay? Anybody see the first Ong Bak? Remember that? Use these knees. Right? And even if this isn't effective, you can just keep dropping them. You can just keep dropping them. And he can't protect everything at once. If you don't know, we play the main game. We want to main so that he can't follow us. Walk away, don't run away. One last time. Inside option, knee and pluck. Outside option, knee and strike. Okay. I wanted to get into a lot of judo stuff today, but I think it's good that we're staying grounded. I don't want to go with the theme, right? But we know that we have options here, especially when you take this balance here. These become very, very volatile, very high octane throws. In Sanda, you get 3 points instead of 2 if you send them up over your head. So those become like 3-point throws. Okay, are we good? All right, this is the closing of today's workshop, so please try to get something from it. Work what you already have, massage your way into it with just a bunch of powders. We got the clay, we're trying to mold it, all right? So work with the clay you already have. Each one? Each one. Let's do it, let's do it. Young man! Quick question. Did everybody feel like they could plug into something that they learned somewhere? Today? Did everybody feel like the common sense and fundamental movements of the 8 boxing punches plugs into something that could get them and their wife home safe? Did everybody understand that when you're dealing with a taller man, you have to change levels, and although it's dangerous, you went down, he has to come down. A lot of the times, it's the intention that makes the difference. We had the exact same position. I had the intention to rotate before he does. So all of these are parts of the fighting arsenal. Okay, did everybody understand that if you send a man's neck down and his spine back, then he has to make a decision of where he applies resistant pressure, and then you use that pressure to fuel your response. Did I miss anything else? Did everybody understand that when you close distance and when you connect to that arm, your traps and your breaks and your locks present themselves through adhesion? And we've had a good workshop.
Yeah.